Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Briefing Room. I am your host, UltimatDJz, and this is my studio in Culver City, California. I'd like to welcome in my dear friend and confidant, criminal hero, Tashcan. This is Ripper. Welcome to my house.
Hi.
Are you doing well?
I'm doing well.
This is kind of a nice place, right? You like to
doing well considering this morning. So
we'll talk a little bit about that in my interview show here, where I get all rights to all content that is filmed here within. Also, welcoming in the piece of the interview that is probably the least interesting to most of you, ladies and gentlemen, community manager and beloved friend of the show, President Echo. What's up, buddy?
Hi, DJ.
Thank you for dropping by my new studio.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, it's a really, really beautiful space. I know you just had your big reveal of your new battle station streaming setup.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
So it's really interesting that your new office in Culver City, when you don't usually live in Culver.
It's a testament to the community that they allowed a satellite broadcast studio here directly from Culver City.
That is insane.
I know, it's kind of crazy. No, in all seriousness, inside Scopely headquarters here in Culver City, kind of a nice digs you got here, man.
You like it?
Yeah, there's like jars of M&Ms everywhere. There's cans of soda like at every turn.
How was lunch?
Lunch was phenomenal. Like, they let me eat like 3 portions. It was crazy.
How's then the trip to LA so far, besides, the $10,000 worth of damage to the car? First time.
Oh, and we've got the rest of our team here as well. So Ripper and I have met. We've had some meals. We've shared some drinks. We've tried some new experiences. Both of us got to touch the Pacific Ocean for the very first time yesterday, which was actually very cool, very beautiful, a very sweet and tender moment between friends. But also the rest of our team. Trader is here. Bubba is in flight. Arian, Stevens Aaron. Putz is here. Let's see. Did we get everybody? Putz, Arian,
your son?
Stevens Aaron. Yeah, my son is here, who's been phenomenal. This has been a great trip for him.
Who continues to get lost in the office.
He has been very good at evading your security.
We were given like one directive. It's like, hey, while like the group is here, they get escorted everywhere. And he just finds himself in places.
I wish we had this.
Oh my gosh! Tell the story.
We were out in the lobby. Echo is showing us around. We've got the tour going on. He's showing us where people work. All of a sudden, you just hear, "Dad," like nowhere to be found. We see like we've lost him, and he's up in the ceiling rafters somehow. Like that. Just Dad, how do I get down from here? He's in a completely different part of the building.
There are more desks and like meeting rooms up there. So like he probably like went up a staircase thinking we went there when we took a left. But like it's
a secure area, man.
He's not a small person. How does he keep getting away from us? I'm in the front, Beck's in the back, and all of a sudden he's just gone.
But you cannot.
That reminds me.
We are checking his phone to make sure he didn't take a bunch of
M&Ms around that kid. All right, like that's where
he literally just tries to get the M&Ms.
He's getting the M&Ms.
Did he take the jar with him?
I asked him to bring the jar. I did. He's texting me now.
But disappearing was me as a kid, for real.
Really?
Yeah. On a mountain.
Why did you just keep disappearing?
I don't know.
Where did you go?
I saw something interesting and just.
There were fires to be set.
Okay. So what else do you guys have planned while you're here?
Well, tomorrow.
Besides yelling at me about the game when we go to dinner.
Yeah, no, there's going to be plenty of opportunity to talk to you and your team, which we're excited about being able to do and relaying, some of the general sentiment from the community. But just as, as our team, we are planning our big 1-year anniversary for Twitch. Of course, our content's been up for almost 4 years now. But earlier this month, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary on Twitch. So we're actually going to do a 1-year anniversary special while we're here with the entire team on camera. I can't think of a better way to kind of celebrate that as actually having the entire team here. And being on camera together for the first time.
And if anybody wants to know about that stream and where you can find UltimatDJz on the internet, description below, all of the links will be there.
But yeah, everybody's going to be getting together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some goofy things. We're going to have some fun. We'll have some conversation. We'll tell people about some of the stuff that we've experienced and learned out here, including plans for the next 3 arcs. And we'll be able to engage with the community to have a little bit of fun. What's next for Star Trek Fleet Command? What do we got on the horizon? Come on, just give us a little something, a little hype, little tease. Tell players why they should be excited after this event store closes.
Oh gosh, I did not come prepared with anything.
You need some chopsticks to help you think.
Okay, wait. I think I can actually give you something.
Ooh.
A long-time community request will be coming this year.
Look at that. They're finally going to fix the game.
Okay, well, actually, perfect segue back. Picard arc as a whole.
Yeah.
Improvement to the game?
I did very much like the freebooters. I think, especially here as we've been traveling.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot going on. We've spent a lot of time. Even the time change. We're all in different time zones. Steven Zarin is like 16 hours off. 19 hours now. 19 hours
That's
off
crazy.
from his time zone. Ripper's 9 hours off. I'm only 3 hours off.
But I don't live in my time zone.
But no, in all seriousness, it has been really, really nice for me. Because I haven't played as many events. I really haven't. And it's not because of this or that, just the travel has been really tough. But
Also,
the dailies
you had a crazy work week, too, from what I heard.
Yeah, leading up to this trip. You know how it is when you go on vacation. You work twice as hard before you leave. You work twice as hard when you get back. Like, you got all that stuff. But no, the freebooters have been nice. If I had to pick one thing out of the entire Legacy series that I really, really liked, it was just, they're actually, to kind of coin a phrase from you, something the players have asked for several years has been time-saving measures. I really feel like the freebooters have been able to do that for me. What I would love to see as far as progression through the export research tree would be another non-grindable means at progressing without spending.
Credits?
Yes, the acquisition of credits. And you guys have a couple of ways that can be done in the game that don't introduce additional grinds, such as away teams assignments.
Yep.
That has been a feature that, really truthfully, kind of crazy, has been wildly praised by the community almost since it came out. Since the launch of Trade XP, it's been vastly underutilized. And for you guys to look at various aspects of the game to be able to put in other progression-based items, Rhodinium, Tritanium, research credits, faction, whatever, all this stuff, you could really, really solve a lot of sourcing problems in this game by using something like away teams assignments. And it's not stale content because there's still traits that could be invested in. You're still earning trade XP.
Yeah.
There's ways that
There's a whole research tree for away teams.
Absolutely. And that could be expanded. There are definitely ways that you can find passive improvements to the game, like the freebooters, that can kind of continue this improvement of time efficiency, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Also, Apex revamp this month.
I kind of like it.
Okay, outside of the vast majority feedback, which is more 40 through 45 systems.
For sure.
Totally heard, understood,
Yeah.
Relayed. Outside of that.
From the design of the events, I kind of like just the change of pace with it, right? It is a little bit new.
Weekly.
It is weekly, so it's providing a solid, stable sourcing, which I do believe is too slow, but that's a tweak, right?
Sure.
Like, that is something that can actually be adjusted. The structure of the events, I think, is solid. You're taking 3 days worth of events where days 1 and 2 were pretty much click a button, and now kind of just consolidating it into a day where the milestones aren't so crazy and there is still time to kind of pull something off like that. And the leaderboard is deep enough that where players can even put in a modicum of effort and still walk away with a few extra credits. So progressing and earning some of those items in the store. The store is very reminiscent of the espionage store that we had with the salvager skins and things like that.
Interesting enough, the person that worked on espionage also worked on Apex.
You don't say.
Crazy how that works out, huh?
Kind of interesting.
Wow.
But I do like the fact that he has brought back some of these items that the community was looking for and community wanted to finish off, and so I find that to be good. One thing that I would like to talk about as far as a change, which I think is probably one of the best changes aside from the freebooters in the last 30 to 60 days, is what we've done with Cerritos Wednesday. The Cerritos Wednesday Second Chance Elite event for Tier 5 Cerritos owners. That got massively easier. We've had conversations about the Borg and the Swarm and the Stella and how, like, you'll just spend all day doing some of these, especially for some of the pieces of content that haven't scaled with ops.
Sure.
The Spend Urbanite event is brilliant. The guy who revamped that, I think it's a very good, simple, clean improvement.
Same person that did Apex.
You don't say.
Crazy, huh?
It's absolutely mind-boggling that he was able to come up with all this stuff. So, no, I find those things to be solid steps in the direction of time saving. I think there's a lot more that can be done, but this last 30 to 45 days has kind of given me 4.5%.
Don't say it.
5% then kind of motivation towards some positive things. But no, in all seriousness, those were welcome changes for me, just as a busy player, someone who doesn't have a great deal of time just to sit and grind. Seeing some of these, options at a leaderboard that might be grindable, but I don't have to. Right? I can do this and do that and just kind of get my things knocked out of the way. I've been pleased with some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to you, privately at the beginning of Legacy, that the theme of this arc was to be focusing on efficiency as well as looking back at some of the things that haven't been touched in a while, right? And not trying to introduce a brand new way to engage with the game while still giving some interesting content that will change the gameplay experience.
It is interesting. It maybe this speaks to the development cycle, right? We've talked all a long time about how bad G4 has been economy-wise, how it needs to be better. And really, over the last 5 to 6 months, G4 doesn't even look in the slightest bit familiar to what it used to be. It's vastly improved. Not perfect, but vastly improved. But we can't forget about the fringe zones as well, right?
Yeah,
G5 is...
so G5 often feels kind of left out because it's either new features, new content is not really for them because it's like, doesn't do anything, or it's like just too easy. And that...
Sounds like we need another roadmap update.
Yeah, maybe.
As long as there's Christmas trees in the station.
Oh yeah, Christmas trees in the station.
Station cosmetics, the new Beck refit from the April
Well,
Fools.
here's the thing. Can I be insulted on behalf of my friend here? He's been asking for trees in his base for 3.5 years, and then Beck comes along and she gets plants on her Botany Bay on the first roadmap update. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean,
feels like a little favoritism to me.
What the heck?
It's been a year since I've been here, and I just want to thank both of you, all the content creators, the community members and Discord moderators for dare I say, assimilating me into the community. I understand there's history, and that for a long time there's been a kind of us versus them mentality, where it's the community versus Scopely. And one of my things that I've wanted to do the most, and I think Beck totally agrees with me, is that we've wanted to bridge that gap.
Sit down and be wrong.
Sit down and be wrong.
I think that it is nice. It's nice to be welcomed here. It's nice to be able to meet you guys. And one thing that I can sense a real difference in over the last year as compared to, because we've both done this for a very long time.
You're both day one players. You're beta players.
No, day one.
Yeah, day one
you
for
weren't
me.
in the beta?
No.
Day one for me.
Day one,
Aaron was the beta player.
Beta, that's right.
But we have been in content creation. You longer than me. You for the full 4 years. Me probably 3.5.
Well, I was behind the scenes at the start.
But still, still.
But always full of positive energy.
Always full of positive energy.
Always.
But despite all of that, over the last year, it's been nice to kind of see some of the more collaborative efforts that are going on behind the scenes. For example, and I tell players this all the time, and sometimes they believe me, sometimes they don't, but this is going to be a double-edged sword comment kind of thing, but there are so many more things that you guys don't get to see that actually do get scrubbed up before they come out. And that may be a good thing. Maybe Scopely wants to admit that or not, but I think it is something you guys should be proud of, because nobody's going to get 100% of everything right all the time.
I don't think it's fair to ever assume that, personally.
And I don't think anybody really actually expects that, okay? I mean, maybe some people do, but reasonable minds will understand that sometimes things don't land exactly.
And everyone has a different idea of what the perfect game is.
Exactly.
I don't think it's one unified vision. I think everyone loves Star Trek Fleet Command in their own way.
And what's been great over the last year since you have been involved and Beck has been involved is that there's been a lot more of that collaboration before the arc begins. A lot more of that kind of conversation that can happen, for example, coming into this very month, where I feel like collaboration was at an all-time high because you guys made modifications to 7 of 9 as a fleet commander.
Yep.
You made modifications to the mess hall, and you made modifications to the actual research values in the export research tree, and all that was done.
Active ability of the Titan.
The Titan ability, absolutely. All of this stuff was done pre-launch, which is something that we have been trying to get them to do for years.
I have accomplished it a couple times, which is not known. I got the G4 ship scrapping.
Scrapping, that's right.
That was pulled before.
That was before my time.
It might have been right at the beginning.
I think it was right when I got there. I remember it being a conversation, but I was still like...
Yeah, so I saw the numbers and was like, don't do that.
Don't try this.
That's right. I do remember you saying this to me. It was like when I just introduced myself. It was like the next update where I was still trying to learn things. You're like, don't do this. These values are not correct. I remember that. See, I can always tell when you're smiling too.
Oh.
I can hear
Yes,
your
you
smile.
can hear the smile.
I can hear
right?
his smile.
Yeah.
Well, now you can.
He's a lot more smiley than anyone
He's
would
a
expect.
pretty happy guy.
He is.
It's all that positive energy.
I know.
You know, full
all
of
the
positive
trees.
energy. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, fresh oxygen from all the trees, all that stuff. But no, the collaboration I think has been good, and that's what. If I were praising one thing since your 1 year here, it has been the fact that we have been able to have a more positive influence. Not everything, you know, we're not right in the game, but when we sense danger approaching, we've been able to say that to you guys, and it seems like in more cases than none, you guys are choosing to respond to that. And I think that can be a positive thing for the entire player base. Not that we represent everybody, but we try to represent and
Your
look.
voices.
We try to represent and look at the alternative perspectives on how people play this game. So I appreciate that. I think probably more than anything is just the fact that we have been able to make some change. And I will ask you guys to continue listening and continuing to respond. It might not be perfect, but as long as it's a net positive, if it improves the game from the previous state, then that to me can be viewed as a win for both sides.
I remember distinctly when we were having a discussion, you wanted something like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And you're like, I can live with that. That's good.
Exactly.
That was exactly your response.
Mm-hmm. Because it was still better than what we had.
Yeah, sometimes it's also not about making compromise, but just opening up a new perspective that maybe the other side didn't consider. And then it isn't a compromise on either side. It's just like, oh,
it's a correction.
I didn't think about this. That makes sense, right? Kind of thing.
That all being said, we do appreciate you guys hosting us today. Thank you to the entire team. We've seen and met many of the members from Live Ops, so I don't want it to go unsaid that I actually really, really appreciate the team welcoming us here today. It's been a very cool experience, regardless of what anybody might say about Scopely or this whole, the game at large. It's been a cool experience to walk through the halls of a video game company, which is something I've never had the opportunity to do. So it's been very, very cool. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having us. And I think that it's super important to recognize how this community has changed the course of some people's lives and opened new doors and created these other types of possibilities and stuff. Because without this, I wouldn't have met that guy or any of those guys out there or one of my best friends. Like, it is cool. We were on an excursion yesterday, and people were just like, how did you guys all come together? And we're like, okay, well, he's from New Zealand, and he's from Germany, and he's from a strange country called Ohio, and there's Canada, and just we're all together. And in that moment, I sat back and kind of realized, where else would this have been possible? Right? How else could this have happened?
It's been that long, stereotype that video game players are those people that don't go out, they don't socialize, they sort of stay within their own four walls, and they're very to themselves. And I think that over time, especially now, this day and age, it couldn't be further from the truth.
It's exactly the opposite.
Yeah. Well, when I come to your house, I expect a tour of your office. I expect dinner.
As long as you go outside and get the chicken yourself, it'll be fine.
Oh, that's fine. I grew up in the country.
There's a hatchet in the garage.
It's fine.
All right.
Anyways, do you want to close out for your show in your studio?
Yes. I want to thank my special guest today, of course, my friend, Criminal Heroic Tashcan, for being here, and thanks for making the trip from Germany. It was crazy. Aaron,
fun.
What was your flight? 16 hours or something crazy from New Zealand?
2 planes would have been
About 17 hours.
17 hours,
17
that he
hours.
did to meet here, and we
That's
appreciate
insane.
you just being able to put on pants and be bothered to meet with
I
us
can't
today.
believe you made me leave my house.
I was gonna say, I appreciate the extreme effort that you
big
put
deal.
in. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
even like washing your shirt. We appreciate.
That's the missus.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
her.
But no, thanks for having us here, and for all of you at home, please check out the video description below where you can find links to all kinds of stuff. We've got Ripper's content, his Twitch channel, his website. We've got my YouTube channel, Twitch, down below. Some other videos that we've got from this exclusive trip, and we'll be putting some of that content up as well. And of course, thanks to Scopely for putting it all together. Echo, appreciate you being here. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Criminal Heroic Tashcan, and live from the briefing room in Culver City, California, we bid you farewell for today. Y'all see ya.